Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm sharing 5 different super quick and easy air fryer recipes. These are gonna be perfect to throw into your air fryer. It's quick, it's easy, and relatively healthy for you as well. A great alternative to deep frying food. We love our air fryer. And these are gonna be 5 of our family favorite recipes that I'm sharing in today's video. And I also want to say a huge thank you to Auntie Nono's for sponsoring today's video. I'm sure you've heard of this company before. They make really good seasonings, so I'm going to be sharing a lot of them throughout today's video. They're really good. I love them. I especially love this one. This is the everything seasoning. This is truly good on everything. I love it on like potatoes, vegetables. I put it in the burger recipe in this video. And then they also have the firecracker sea salt as well as a seafood seasoning. You're gonna see all of these used throughout this video. So thank you to them for sponsoring, and let's go ahead and get into today's air fryer video. For this first dinner, I'm making just some air fryer salmon with some potatoes. I am going to start off with my potatoes in the air fryer. So these are just some baby red potatoes that I've cut up into probably like 1/2-inch pieces or so. You can make them bigger or smaller, just depending on personal preference. I added on some olive oil, and then this is the everything seasoning from Auntie Nono's. This seasoning was really good on these potatoes. This was the first time I had used this seasoning on potatoes, and I definitely recommend it. It was really good. It's the only thing I used and was very flavorful, so it was perfect for this recipe. And then I'm just throwing them right into my air fryer basket. In my air fryer, these take about 15 minutes, but it's going to depend on your air fryer, of course. I use the Elec Homes air fryer. I can link the one that I have down below, but I just popped these in for 15 minutes at 400 degrees, and they were absolutely perfect when they came out. Now I'm just gonna get the salmon ready. Now this is just salmon that I had frozen in the freezer. I just thawed it out in some water, and then once it was all thawed out, then I'm just drizzling on a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm just using the Auntie Nono's seafood seasoning. Now this was really good. It wasn't overly like powerful, which is great because it really brings out the flavor of the fish. Otherwise, of course, you could use whatever seasoning you have on hand. I'm just sprinkling this on both sides, adding the olive oil on there. And that's it for seasoning for this recipe. Of course, you can play around with other ones, but that's it. It was really simple and easy to only have the one seasoning to have to worry about. And then I'm just gonna get the potatoes out of the air fryer, put those into a casserole dish to keep them warm. I just threw a layer of tin foil across, and I kept them totally warm until we were ready to eat while the salmon was cooking. The salmon only takes about 10 minutes, so it wasn't very long. Here I'm just throwing my salmon right into the air fryer basket. This basket fits about 4 pieces in here perfectly. And then I just cooked this at 400 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. I did mine closer to that 10-minute mark. Mine was still just like slightly frozen in the center, but you're just going to cook it until your salmon is all the way cooked through. This is such a quick and easy weeknight dinner. It's pretty healthy for you, lots of healthy fats, and super delicious. Our kids also love this meal. Next up, we are making these air fryer burgers, and you guys, these are some of the juiciest burgers I have ever made. They turn out so delicious. I'm starting off with a little over 2 pounds of hamburger here, and then I'm just adding in that everything seasoning. I added in probably about a teaspoon or so. Just do that to taste, and then I also did add just a little bit of pepper in there, and that is it for these burgers. I'm just keeping them super simple and easy. I know some people like to add an egg to bind their meat together. I personally don't really like doing that. I just like to keep it straight up ground beef, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm getting that seasoning mixed in. This was a really good seasoning for this. It had just like a hint of garlic in there, but that salt really made these burgers absolutely delicious, and my husband loved the seasoning in here this time. I've made these burgers many times before, but this was the first time I had used this specific seasoning, and we really enjoyed it. So I'm just pressing these out into patties. Since this is 2 pounds of ground beef, I just press these out into 1/4 pound burgers, or about that. I do not have a burger press. I just use my hands, but I would say they're about 1/4 pound each is what I always go for when I'm making burgers. I just air fry these burgers at 375 degrees for about 7 or 8 minutes per side. Of course, if you want your burgers a little bit more on like the medium rare side, cook them for a little bit less time, but we like our burgers fully cooked through. But I have to say, you guys, these burgers turn out so juicy and delicious. There's just something really good about making them in the air fryer. They kind of get just like slightly crisp on the outside like you want a burger to be, but the inside is just super juicy. It doesn't get dried out like if you pan fry them. You guys, if you've never tried making burgers in your air fryer, this is a game changer, especially when it's winter time and it's cold and you don't want to grill. This is the perfect way to make burgers. So I definitely recommend this recipe. Super delicious. Definitely try this one out. For this next dinner, I'm making air fryer chicken burritos. This is something that I've been making for years and we really enjoy it. So I always just start off by cutting up some chicken. I always just use chicken breast for this recipe. Here I'm doing 2 chicken breasts and just cutting those up into bite-sized pieces. I am going to be pan frying this chicken. Of course, you can get like rotisserie chicken from the store if you want. You can get pre-cooked chicken. Anything will work here. And then I'm just adding on a little bit of the firecracker sea salt, or really any type of like Cajun seasoning. I want that spicy flavor on this chicken, and this was really delicious. So I'm just throwing the chicken in some olive oil, adding that seasoning on there, and then I'm just pan frying this chicken until it is completely cooked through, and then we're going to be ready to head over to the air fryer. Once that chicken is completely cooked through, I'm just heading over to my island, and this is where we're going to be assembling the burritos. So what I love about this is it's kind of like going to like Chipotle or Qdoba, and you can just put whatever you want on here. So here I just have some sour cream, some rice, I have corn, black beans, of course the chicken, sour cream, salsa, but you can totally add whatever you want in here. I always have a hard time getting my burrito to close because I like to add a ton of things into mine, but like my husband does not like to eat a lot of this stuff. He doesn't like beans. He's a little bit more picky than I am, so we can just make his a little bit differently. Same with my kids. So this is a great option if you have like picky eaters. They can pick whatever they want on their burrito, and then you just pop it into the air fryer. You can also make all this stuff ahead of the time, have it in your fridge ready to go, and it makes really good lunches. Then we're just heading over to the air fryer. I just popped this in at about 375 degrees. I never even time mine, but I would say I usually put mine in for about 4, maybe 5 minutes, just until those edges get nice and crispy. And you guys, these burritos are so good. I love them, and I think you guys will too. For this next dinner, I'm making air fryer chicken sandwiches. This is like a great alternative to like a crispy chicken sandwich that you would find at a fast food restaurant or at a restaurant where you don't want the deep fried food, but you want the good chicken. This is going to be perfect for you. So I'm just starting off with 2 chicken breasts. I just cut off any pieces of fat, and then I cut them in half lengthwise to make them really nice and thin, and then cut each of those pieces in half so they'll fit on a bun. Or of course you could leave them bigger if you want, but then you're actually just going to marinate these in pickle juice. Yes, I know it sounds weird, but you're going to want to throw them in there for a good like 30 minutes, stick them back in the fridge, and then you can get your batter ready for your chicken. This is just a 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 teaspoon of the Auntie Nono's everything seasoning, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of the firecracker sea salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and then you're going to want a tablespoon of baking powder. Then just go ahead and shake all of this together in a bag. Of course, you can mix it up in a bowl if you want to, but I always like to keep it nice and easy for this. And then into a separate bowl, I have 2 eggs and then about 1/2 cup of milk, and I'm just whisking all of that together. Now when it comes to coating this chicken, it's actually very simple and easy. As you can see, I'm just pulling my chicken right out of the pickle juice and into the egg wash mixture, and then I'm gonna let all of that kind of drip off as I'm pulling it out, and that's gonna go right into this bag of flour. Now you can double coat these if you want to, but I more often than not will just do 1 single coating, and it still turns out really crunchy and delicious with tons of flavor. So just go ahead and shake that up in the bag, and you're gonna have some really good coated chicken, and just repeat that until all of it is done. I will make sure to write out all of these recipes in my description box, so definitely check there if you want the written out recipe. But I just start these in the air fryer at 340 degrees for about 6 minutes per side to start. So you're gonna do 6 minutes and then you're going to flip them over, do another 6 minutes, and then you're gonna bump up the temperature to 400 degrees and do another 2 minutes on each side. Just make sure that your internal temp reaches 165 degrees and that your chicken is done. And you will want to spray these with oil in between each round of cooking, and they will get really nice and crispy that way. But you guys, this is a really great alternative to deep frying. For this next dinner, I'm just making a really simple air fryer shrimp recipe, and this is something that I actually served over salad, but of course you could just do shrimp and then whatever veggie and like starch that you wanted on the side. So I'm just starting off with some pre-cooked shrimp that I just thawed out under cold water. I'm adding on some olive oil, some of that everything salt, as well as the firecracker salt. I'm just tossing all of this together. It literally could not be any more simple. And then I'm just throwing it right into my air fryer basket. I just air fried these for about 5 minutes and they were perfect. They were very delicious, perfect for a quick and easy lunch or a dinner, served with some cocktail sauce, or like I said, I threw them onto a salad. This was such a quick and easy recipe. So if you just need something simple where you don't have to prep a lot of meat or anything, this is a great go-to recipe for that. If you guys have any favorite air fryer recipes, definitely leave them for me down in the comments because I'm always looking for new ones to try out. I love using my air fryer, especially for a healthier alternative, and it's just so quick and easy. So if you have any favorites, definitely leave them for me down below. Alright you guys, that is going to wrap up today's air fryer video. I really hope that you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my description box and check out these Auntie Nono seasonings. I do have a discount code. I'll put it on the screen here, and then just head to the link in my description box if you want to check them out. I think you will really enjoy them. But I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you all in my next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.